Alright, so let's just say we've done this problem and we're not sure if we can solve this by factoring square root or cutting the square. We can just use the quadratic formula. So let's write down some steps and apply that to this example. The first thing I want to do is I want to identify the A, B, and C. Class, is this the A value?
No.
Well, I need to get it in standard form. How do I do that? I most likely want an A value to be positive, so I'll add 2x squared to both sides. This leaves me with 2x squared plus 3x minus 5 equals 0. And then from here, we can write the standard form of quadratics below it. ax squared plus bx plus c. And then we can say, class, your A value is? 2. Your B value?
3.
And your C value? Your A, B's, and C's will always be delete. Your A, B, and C values will always be numbers. You will never have an x or an x squared in here. Okay? So we've just identified the A, B, and C. The second thing we need to do is write down the quadratic formula. Isaac, go ahead and tell us the quadratic formula. Remember, the quadratic formula is solving for the variable x for us. Alright, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do a substitution. Everyone say substitution.
Substitution.
Every b value, I'm going to be putting in a 3. Every a value we'll be putting in 2. And every, what am I missing? C value will be negative 5. Remember, when you're doing your substitutions or evaluating, you're always using parentheses. Class, your B value?
3.
Plus or minus radical. What goes there?
3.
Minus 4.
2. Negative 5. 2.
You should always do this. Identify the parts. Always write down the formula. Always do a substitution. And last, we do what? We're going to simplify or solve. Opposite of 3 is negative 3. Plus or minus 3 squared. Pay attention. This is usually the first common mistake for students. I'm going to use my finger. Use your finger. I'm going to do negative 4 times A times C. So negative 4 times 2 is what? And negative A times negative 5 is? Positive 40. Plus 40. Just how I use my finger, and just whatever math operation you have, just write that number. Okay? Over 4. X equals negative 3 plus or minus 9 plus 40 is? X equals negative 3 plus or minus 7 over 4. This means here we have two solutions. Let me write it out for you so you can see it. Negative 3 plus 7 over 4 and negative 3 minus 7 over 4. There I'm splitting the plus or minus at the very end. Class, negative 3 plus 7. And 4 over 4 is 1. Negative 3 minus 7. Negative 10 over 4 is negative 5 over 2. Huh. Those two solutions probably tell me that it would probably have been really easy to use factoring in this problem. It would have worked. But quadratic formula still works. In summary, put in standard form to get your A, B, and C. Write down the quadratic formula, substitute, and then simplify it.